Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a very quick video about the latest patch in Cyberpunk 2077, patch 2.3, and this patch added a lot of new features to the game. But for today, I just like to talk about one very particular feature, one very important feature on the console version, just for the console version, because we have this feature actually since ever on the PC. I'm talking about VRR, verbal refresh rate support, and if you don't know what that is, let me explain. Okay, I don't want to go into much detail, but what is VRR, verbal refresh rate? So let's just assume, or not just assume, let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077, because this game doesn't run or has not a perfect 60 FPS experience or frame rate actually on all consoles, apart from the PlayStation 5 Pro, which is very stable, but also not in all areas, okay? But let's just assume you're playing a game and it drops very often below 60 FPS. What you will experience on your screen is, without VRR, is a lot of screen tearing or stuttering. And VRR, very simple explanation, makes sure actually that you don't have screen tearing or you don't have any stuttering. So that's the very simple explanation. So VRR, verbal refresh rate, can enhance your experience when you play games with a very unstable frame rate. That's the theory. In real, of course, VRR is a little bit more complicated, and I made a lot of videos about this topic already, so check out my channel. But now let's talk about patch 2.3. Let's focus on base PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5 Pro, and of course the Xbox Series X. And I like to start with the Xbox Series X because when I recorded this video, there was some sort of a bug with the new VRR implementation on the Xbox Series X. Because no matter what I tried, the Xbox Series X in the performance mode with VRR enabled never exceeded 60 FPS. When we're now comparing this with the base PlayStation 5, where we can see that we can actually have more than 60 FPS after the latest patch. So right now, I consider this as a bug on the Xbox Series X. And when we're now testing the quality mode on the Xbox Series X, you can see that it is also not exceeding 30 FPS. On the base PlayStation 5, on the other hand, we can have up to 40 FPS after the latest patch. So again, for the rest of the video, I'm focusing on the base PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro because, again, I think there is still a bug with the Xbox Series X version in regards to the VRR implementation, because we should have a very similar result actually, comparing this with the base PlayStation 5. So I keep you up to date if there's any change in terms of this bug. But now let's move on with PlayStation 5. And I think it's obvious that when we compare the base PlayStation 5 with the PlayStation 5 Pro, especially in the performance mode, then we can see that the PlayStation 5 Pro is actually taking advantage from the new patch much more than the base PlayStation 5, because we're talking about 20 or even more FPS on the PlayStation 5 Pro over the base PlayStation 5. And that means instead of having around 60 to 65 FPS or even less than 60 FPS on the base PlayStation 5, we have now up to 90 FPS or even more on the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's a big step up in my opinion and makes the gameplay in Cyberpunk 2077 even better. But what about the new unlocked quality mode, which means we can now experience up to 40 FPS on the base PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro. Obviously, the Pro version is hitting 40 FPS more often than the base PlayStation 5 version, but also on the base PlayStation 5, you will encounter 40 FPS, and this is a huge step up comparing this to 30 FPS. Okay, my friends, so that's it for this very quick video. Patch 2.3 in Cyberpunk on the console is adding VRR support. Not really on the Xbox Series X. I mean, don't get me wrong, we had VRR support on the Xbox Series X forever because it's just built into the hardware. Unfortunately, not on the PlayStation, but now we have unlocked frame rate on PlayStation 5 Pro and base PlayStation 5, but not on the Xbox Series X. So I'm not sure what's going on, because especially the quality mode with an unlocked frame rate up to 40 FPS is actually a nice feature. But it's not working, okay? I'm not sure what's going on. Let me know in the comment section if you experienced the same issue. But again, when I recorded the video and I made sure that this is actually the fact, so it's not just me, there are reports out there that the Xbox Series X version is not behaving as the PlayStation version. I would think it's just a bug at the moment and it should be fixed very, very soon. The update itself, patch 2.3, is actually huge because it's adding so many features actually. It's unbelievable. I mean, I never finished Cyberpunk 2077, but I think now, after 5 years and after a lot of patches, it's probably time to start a playthrough. Thank you very much for watching me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.